Welcome to the Warp. This week I wanted to showcase one of the best features on the Warp website. The site is at redamedia.com/warp, and the feature is the Amazing Alien Database, also known as the Amazing Power Thingy. Now, this feature was engineered by my friend Marcus Porter, and it started off as a way for me to track and catalog all of the numerous homebrew aliens that people had authored over the years. I started by going through the Alt-Rec Board Game CE news group back in the 90s and copying everything I could find in there into the database. But the database was also really a way for me to track the numerous homebrew aliens that I had created over the years since the mid-80s. And it has expanded quite a bit since then. Eventually I started seeking out other sources of homebrews, including Space Gamer magazine, and then each edition of Cosmic, including Cosmic Encounter Online, all the way through the Fantasy Flight version, and then all of the new wave of homebrews that were posted largely to BoardGameGeek.com. So let's take a look at how the Power Thingy works. On the main page of the Warp, there are two ways to get to it. There's a link on the right for the Amazing Alien Database, and you can also just click on the homebrew of the day. Now, on the Amazing Alien Database page, you'll see we have a number of drop-down menus and some other criteria that we can check on or off depending on what info we want. Let's start with Origin. There's a lot of options here. The numbers here refer to the original Eon version of Cosmic. 0 is the base set, and then 1 through 9 are the expansions that had aliens. If you wanted to know what was in Expansion 3, you select that and then press Submit Query. Presto, you get a list of the 15 aliens from that expansion. There's also entries for the Avalon Hill edition, the Cosmic Archives, each Fantasy Flight expansion, Encounter Magazine, Fantasy Flight's forums, etc., wherever an alien first appeared. Now let's look at author. In every case where I was able to determine it, I have credited the authors of the aliens. For aliens published in an edition, I list the publisher as the author. So if we want to see the full list of aliens for the Fantasy Flight version, we select that and submit the query, and we get 196 aliens. Each entry shows the alien name, the bracketed text shows if the alien is mandatory or optional and its origin, the alien's short description, usually found at the top of the alien sheet, and the credited author here on the Warp. Next we get its effects, starting with any game setup, the history. The notes show the complexity of the alien, novice, advanced, or expert, which corresponds to the green, yellow, and red alert levels. And if the alien has a special type, that's in the notes too. Also, aliens with essence cards, for example, those cards are listed in the notes. And finally, we have the flare effects. If a flare is a Mayfair one-shot style flare, it will be listed as a Wild 1 or Super 1. And special cards like Nebulas or Pulsars, homebrews, will have the associated cards listed here. Theme lets you narrow your search down so you can just show Lucre aliens, for instance, or from a special theme like Doctor Who or Lovecraftian Encounter. Type is where you can show it's an Alt-Win alien or a planet alien, leveraging Fantasy Flight's individual planets in some way. Experience lets you narrow by alert levels, and then you can decide if you want to include the histories, notes, or certain flare types in your search. So if I want to see how many alternate win aliens Adam McLean has created, I can select them, and then voila, there's one, Nomadic. Try it out sometime. Right now there are over 2,000 entries in the database, which includes all of the officially published aliens, so yes, there are multiple entries for Zombie, including some revisions. I know there are a few entries I still need to make. I tend to wait a while before adding a new homebrew alien because the authors tend to make changes early and often, and that way I'm not having to update an entry over and over again. But if you search through the Warp and find that it's missing something you came up with or another alien that you've seen elsewhere, don't hesitate to let me know. Also, if I have an out-of-date entry or the wrong author attributed, I'm keen to correct those things. I'm sure when Marcus retires, he'll have more time to jazz up the database even more. We've talked about other features, but it's pretty darn handy already as it is. It's been used by multiple folks over the last several years when designing new aliens or considering old ones with an innovative idea. I won't lie, there's a lot of crap in the database as well, but even bad alien design can be worth looking at. It can inspire better ideas. So that's it for the Warp this week. Keep making those homebrews, test them out if you can, and then send them over. I'm happy to include them in the database. Thanks for watching, we'll see you soon.